Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the controversial stone, the Lydian or Lydiite Touchstone. So why do I have a J-nut here? So I'm prepping this edge to go into the Lydian stone, and I'll show you that stone in a second. So I'm just doing some last little touches on this little stone, or this stone. And the reason I'm using a J-nut before it is the things that I learned playing with this stone for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know. It's a loaner. It's not mine. It's really nice. And let's show it to you. So before I hit play, I hit record, I make sure that my edge was good to go. Strap, hand strap, like you guys seen me do before. Let's get this out of the way. And then did some final touches on that J-nut. That should be a very, very nice shaving edge. I really like that Nakayama. But the video is not about that. The video is about this stone right here. This is a Lydian touchstone. For you that don't know what a touchstone is, I had to do my research because I didn't know. If you ever go to a jewelry store and want to know, or a pawn shop, I guess, and want to know if your gold is real gold, they use a stone like this, or obsidian, or there's other volcanic ones, but usually one with this type of finish with very, very tight grains, I guess. And they rub the gold and then they put a chemical on it, and they can tell you if it is 10 karat, 14, 24, 18, whatever. All right, so that's the purpose for these stones, right? And this created a huge controversy. Somebody in the forum said that these are like 30,000 K or 20K or whatever, grit level, and and they are really, really hard. They're really, really hard. So why are we using a touchstone for honing? Well, turns out Lydian stones have been used in the past as honing stones for finishing touches. If you don't believe me, you have to search harder on Google. PM me, and I'll send you some data that indicates that from all old text, old books. So this has been used as a honing stone, right, for knives or whatever. So what is it made out of? I had no clue. It is some volcanic stone. You can search for it. It's really, really hard. Really, really good for testing gold, and we're gonna be using it for a razor. So this stone is it is the size of my DNT 325. It's almost exactly the same size. Right now mine, or this one, it's not mine, soon to go back, is not highly polished. There's another video on YouTube, you can check it out. The guy has one side highly polished and the other one not polished, and he uses some cool techniques to set his edge how he wants it. And I did not do that. This is not my stone. I'm not gonna spend time highly polishing it, and I think it's not necessarily necessary. So for my use, right? If you want to highly polish yours, go ahead. So another thing is that I learned about this stone is that it improves my AK edge enough where it gives me a very nice, comfortable shave. I will not shave with that type of edge on a full 2, maybe 3 day beard. Not because I can't. It's just it wouldn't be my preference. But on a daily, I had to shave almost every day. Very nice. Better than my cuticle, I would say. And it improved the edge, yes. But just like my Arkansas and very hard stones of this type, it's best if you use it after like a 12K. So that's why we're doing my JNet. I've been testing different methods on it, and I want to try now the edge off of JNet, going and doing some passes on this bad boy. And today we're doing this Twin Works by J. Henkel 68. And before we get into honing, I want to touch into when you start honing razors, especially when they're vintage. I bought this off of eBay. Pretty good price, and mainly the reason there was a decent price is because, I hope you guys can see it, look at that right here. It's narrower than in this side, right? It has some uneven hone wear, and if you see, the hone wear right here is fatter than over here, just a little line, and it gets thicker, and that's why it gets narrower, right? The edge still the same degree across. That's why I don't use tape. So when this wears, it translates to here, and it evens. It wears evenly, allowing you to still have the same angle of the edge, right? So why is this happen? I'm gonna talk a little bit more when I'm honing, but it happens bad form. Sometimes honing, sometimes putting too much pressure. But another very important thing that not a lot of people talk about is that the toe spends more time on the stone than the heel. And I'm going to show you that, especially when you use big stones and you have a straight edge. In a smiley phase, when you're doing rolling X's, not so much, but that's what happens, right? So you might be thinking, I'm crazy, why did not correct that? I have enough real estate, I could have done that. To be honest, this is not for sale. I like my old racers to look old. That's why I just cleaned it a little bit, and that's it. So I hone them as they come, right? I don't spend that much time fixing that, because I'm gonna lose a bunch of material here, and I don't want that. So as long as it shaves well, that's all that matters to me. The problem is that now I have to hone rolling X's on a razor like this, right? A lot of you are gonna hate that I did that, but this is my razor. It's not for sale, so you don't have to like it. So let's get to the stone. So comparing this stone to an Arkansas. So this is my one of my translucents, and I want you to hear this, right? There's another YouTuber that does this, but well, this is, there it is. It's getting muffed by the rubber, but it is really hard, and it sounds very similar to an Arkansas. I don't really care if they do, but it's just to prove. See that high tone? This is like an extremely hard stone. It feels like if I drop it from here to the table, it's gonna shatter in a million pieces. I don't know if it would. I'm not gonna test that because it's a loaner. I'm not gonna say who lent it to me, just in case he didn't want to be mentioned. So let's get to honing. I've been talking a lot of trash, not trash, but so I tried this stone using water, and I honestly did not like it. So I'm gonna be using Smith's honing solution. It is water soluble, and I'm gonna use it like I use my translucent. I'm gonna use it to refine further the edge of, look how beautiful that is, the edge of my JNet. And that's the only thing that I'm gonna do with it. So I'm just gonna do some couple passes, and so you can see it in action. bring it a little bit closer to you so you can hear it. The biggest complaint I heard about this stone from people that are honing is the lack of feedback. As none. It's almost non-existent. There's some, but just like a arc translucent or surgical black, it's super smooth. It's like glass, so you're not gonna get that. So when you're honing on arcs and translucent and surgical and stone like this, what you need to use is your hearing now, because your feel is gonna be very different. It's not gonna be there. So you have to use your hearing and hear the little whoosh that happens. At this point, it really, you have to pay attention to it. And I'm just gonna do just some passes so you guys can see it in action, and that's about it. But that's all it takes to take that edge from being freaking super awesome to super sharp. Let's put a couple more drops in there. So what I was talking about, razor, when you have a stone this big, for instance, let's say we were going to go flat, check this out. Look how fast, boom, that heel is already out of the stone. That toe is still connected to the stone all the way to the end. So when you're doing S strokes, that's why when you hone a lot, the same razor is going to tend to have more wear towards the toe. If you didn't know that, that's how that happens. Sometimes a lot of people put a lot of pressure in the toe as well, making it to do that. So there you guys have it. This is actually a very cool stone. I really dig it. I was actually thinking about getting one. I do not need it because it does the same that my arc does, but it's really cool to have a all black stone like this. Extremely hard. And if I ever want to test gold, I guess I can buy some the chemicals and test it on it. But thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments. Always appreciate a thumbs up. You guys have a good one. I think we're almost done with it. There you go. Thank you.